There are many reasons why someone would download Linux, such as it being open source, more privacy, maybe to code, but I think one reason stands above all. Linux is very lightweight. No matter what distro you choose, it's going to be lighter than Windows will ever be. And since I've got a terrible PC, I decided that it was finally time to download Linux. Now, I've never downloaded Linux, and I decided to go with Linux Mint, which I found to be the closest to Windows and the easiest to use. Since I don't know how to download Linux Mint, I should probably search up how to download Linux Mint. Linux Mint installation guide. Download Linux Mint 23.2. I'm probably going to choose the cinnamon style since it's the recommended one. Okay, so I just have to download Linux Mint cinnamon edition. Oh, I probably want to download this Linux Mint. Okay, it's downloading now. Anyone can produce fake ISO images. It is your responsibility to check you're downloading the official ones. Download the ISO image, then follow the instructions to verify you downloaded files. Verify Linux Mint. If you're using Windows, follow the tutorial how to verify ISO images on Windows. Okay, so I have to right click and save link as. Save and save link as. Save this as well. Then browse to GNPG, download and install the Windows installer. Wait, I should probably do this. It says download SIG for Windows. Okay, Windows, download SIG. Next, install. Oh, I already have it. Okay, so now find the folder containing the files you downloaded in first step. Hold shift whilst right clicking the folder, not the files in it. Select to open on command window. Since I've downloaded the folders in my downloads folder, since everything I downloaded is here, I don't need this. I should just shift right click this and open PowerShell window here. So now type this command into the command window while replacing file name the ISO part with the actual name of the ISO file you downloaded. Okay, copy this, paste this in. By the way, if you don't know this, you can type in a part of your file name, such as Linux, and then click tab and Windows will autofill it for you. This is in CMD and in PowerShell. I got a hash key. I presume this is a hash key. What do I do next? Okay, this is just integrity check. So now I have to go into this file, which is sha256 sum.txt. And now I have to check if this hash key is in there. I'm just going to copy this hash key, Control F, and then type in the hash key. As you can see, the full hash key shows here. I don't have to check every character by character. I can just copy and paste it, Control F, enter, and it shows the hash key highlighted. Since I passed the integrity check, now I have to go into the authenticity check. For the authenticity check, we have to use the same commands as described on linuxmint.com/verify.php. Copy and paste this command into command window and press enter to run it. Select all, copy, paste. Nothing's happening. Key users, trustdb created, key public key imported, total number imported 1. I have no idea what that means. Now copy this command. Warning, this key is not certified with a trusted signature. There is no indication that the signature belongs to the owner. So this key is not certified with a trusted signature is normal since I also have it. In here it says good signature. So now that I've passed the authenticity and integrity check, I can close this tab, close this tab, also close the download tab and go into the installation guide. I verified my live image, so now I have to create a bootable media. On here it says to download Etcher, but I'm going to use Rufus to do this. I have to plug in a USB since I don't have a USB connected. Now I plugged in a 32GB USB as you can see, since it shows on Rufus. Now I have to select an ISO image and I'm going to choose Linux Mint. It says ready, so I'm gonna start it. Deleting partitions, this may take a while. Okay, I'll just let Rufus do his thing and come back when it's ready. I didn't think this would take this long. Okay, since it's finished now, I can close Rufus, go on this, click on the Linux Mint hard drive, and as you can see, everything here shows that there's an OS in this. Now it says that I have to insert my USB stick into the computer, restart the computer. So I'm going to be turning off my computer. I'm going to do this on my computer first and then go to my brother's because I know that you can run Linux from the USB stick. So see you in a bit. Then once my PC was booting up, I spammed the delete key on my keyboard, which for you might be F12 or F2 depending on your motherboard. I then moved the USB device to be first when the PC boots up so that I can boot into Linux. After that, I clicked save and exit. I waited a bit and then the grub interface popped up. I clicked the first option which says start Linux Mint. The Linux Mint logo appeared. You can't see it, but trust me, that's the Linux Mint logo. Once I was inside, I tested it out a bit. I changed the background and looked at how many resources the operating system takes. And wait, Am I reading that right? 2 gigabytes of RAM. How is that even possible? Windows takes up 6 gigs just by itself. Well, at least now we know that Linux should run better than Windows on that old PC. Now that I know that Linux Mint works on my PC, I'm going to install it on the all-in-one, which I hope won't cause any problems. So I plugged in the USB, took out this old dusty keyboard because there aren't any function keys on the white keyboard, and spammed the delete key to get into BIOS. Since I was there, I decided to check the CPU temperature as well, and yeah, this PC is cooked. There's no hope for it. Anyways, I changed the boot priority order so that the removable device is first and rebooted my PC. And for some reason, it booted back into Windows. So I thought that maybe I plugged the USB in wrong, but no, it still booted back into Windows, even after replugging the USB in. So I went back to researching, and apparently, if I have Secure Boot on, the USB is practically useless. So I went back into BIOS, turned Secure Boot off, and it finally worked. Once I was in Linux, I clicked the disk at the top left, which opened the window to download Linux, entered my Wi-Fi password, and for some reason configured Secure Boot. I have no idea why I did this. Then it was finally time. I could finally download Linux, and my dreams were shut down by BitLocker. I didn't even know the PC had BitLocker, so I had to go back to Windows, turned off the encryption, which took way too long, and then my USB wouldn't show up anymore. Oh wait, I just didn't have it plugged in. Alright, now that I've done every step, Linux should work now, right? Right? Well, no. Every time I tried booting into the USB, I got this error. Now, I've got no clue what this means or does, so I just googled it and I changed some files on the USB and it worked. But then I got another error. This time it was something about a disk. I don't know how I fixed it. I just plugged the USB elsewhere on the PC and it worked. And finally, I was able to download Linux on this old crappy PC. Then I went through the steps, gave Linux around 450 gigabytes of storage, and then started the installation. Whilst that was happening, I tinkered around with some settings. It's pretty cool that you can change the animation of a window closing and opening, and you can also change its speed. And the fact that there's a setting which lets you hover over a window to focus it is so sick. This is a life changer for me as I continuously switch tabs with my mouse, especially with my schoolwork. It does exist in Windows, but honestly, it just works in a weird way, so I don't like it. Once the installation was done, it asked me to reboot the PC, so I did, and I also removed the USB stick. Now, I originally planned to let my past self speak and show you my live reactions, but I'm going to have to do a voiceover on this because this is how the footage sounds. And I don't think you want to hear that for the rest of the video. I started off by creating a snapshot, which was a big mistake as it was taking too long, so I stopped it. It's not like I need a snapshot anyways. Then, through the update manager, I updated and installed all the packages required, which took me way longer than it should have because I was getting confused by the servers, but I managed to get it working. Once I rebooted the PC again, I installed a few apps. The main reason people don't install Linux is because of its compatibility with games. But in the last few years, Linux has been made compatible with loads of games such as Counter-Strike and Hollow Knight, which I'm going to make a video on one day. But one game that's not compatible natively is Roblox. So I wanted to try the alternative, which is called Sober. I've seen videos where the performance actually increases using Linux, so I wanted to give it a try myself. Another thing I wanted to use is an autoclicker. This is mainly because they should theoretically be faster on Linux. So I went on a CPS website and the autoclicker was so fast that it crashed Firefox. So I guess we know that the autoclickers are faster. I then tried to play this game on Roblox called Rivals, in which I averaged around 45 FPS, which isn't bad for a PC in which the CPU runs on 80 degrees idle. So we could say that the performance is a bit better than usual, as in Windows it runs on this FPS without recording the screen. Anyways, I'm probably not going to use this PC ever again.